everybody, and welcome to Forever Wild, the television program dedicated to environmental education in the Horry County Schools. We're a partner with the Horry County Schools, Horry County Conservation Foundation, and Coastal Carolina University. And today we're going to be working with backyard birding. We're going to be learning all about the basics of birding in the woods here and the ponds and the swamps of Playcard Environmental Education Center. Now, to become a backyard birder, you don't need much equipment. All you've got to have is a decent set of binoculars or your eyes and a good location to go birding. It's a very interesting hobby, and you can do it from very young, starting at about 4 to 5 years old, all the way till you're in the old folks home. So it's a wonderful hobby, and it's easy to do, and it's something that's really fun for your whole family. Today, this is a winter filming trip. This is in the middle of January. It's going to be a beautiful cold day, and we're going to see the migrant species you'll see in the winter time in the wintering home ranges in the book. All right, so you're going to use 4 characteristics. You're going to use size, you're going to use color, you're going to use field indicators, specific marks on each bird to kind of identify what they are. You're going to use calls, if you know those. And then you're going to go through and you're going to find their home range and habitats. Okay, you're going to use all of those different indicators to come together to come up with a species list of what you find in the area. And when you are done, we're going to actually log this data. We're going to show you how to do that on eBird. eBird is a free online checklist service. Once you get everything logged in, it will put it into a real-time database where there's literally millions of different birders around the world doing the same thing, and they're coming up with cloud-based data. It's really cool. So come out, enjoy citizen science, and let's go birding. Hello, how you doing this morning?
Doing good. How you doing?
Good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, all right. Hey, would you do me a favor and tell the audience what your name is and who you are and what you're doing here with this bird?
All right. My name is William Johnson. I will be one of the birders during this series, and right here I'm holding a red-shouldered hawk. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the markings that you might notice on a bird like this. Okay? So one of the most pronounced things that you can notice is the beak shape. How the beak is shaped can tell you the difference between hawks, your warblers, mockingbirds. They all have a different shape to the beak. As you go down and look for other significant features, this is a red-shouldered hawk because if you look here, you see the red tinges of red along the wing. One of your big giveaways for hawks as well in this area will be the way the tail sits. Some tails will sit bunched together, and some other ones will be splayed out. Some will be red, some will have this stripe pattern, and that's some of the ways that you can recognize the difference between hawks. Other significant markings that you want to look for are wing bars or bars across the wing, like you might see in a mockingbird. Another example that a mockingbird would have, which is a common bird that you're familiar with, it'll have black bars along the eyes.
Okay, nice. That's really cool. So is this bird considered a raptor? And what is a raptor?
So a raptor, these are your larger carnivorous birds. One of the smaller ones we have are your sharp-shinned hawk. These are a little bit smaller than your red-shouldered hawk. Your red-shouldered hawk and your red-tailed hawk are going to be your larger hawks, and then you have your occasional bald eagles in the area as well. Now we do see a split, and some of the raptors fall in the group raptors. However, some, like the peregrine falcon, are a little bit more closely related to birds like sparrows, and you can see that kind of in their facial features.
Interesting. That's really cool. Now let me ask you a question about what's behind you real quick. If you'll kind of set that down, let's do something really quick. Look right here behind us. We have a type of structure right here, and we have a structure right here. What do these two things do here?
All right, so these are your 2 bird feeders. 2 very popular. This is more of a traditional birdhouse type feeder where you load it in from the top. And very popular choice is sunflower seeds. Just about everything is going to eat sunflower seeds. So you can pick up a $7 bag from Walmart, and you can really bring the birds to you and make it less challenging. This is a bottle feeder. It's another quick feeder. You just screw it in the top. Good way to recycle as well. So yeah, you just screw it in after you fill up the bottle, flip it upside down, and there you go.
Where do you get the bottoms for the bottle feeders? Where do you get these little plastic inserts?
So I would check your local Walmart, maybe Dollar General, places like that. You can probably also get some pretty intricate birdhouses from PetSmart.
Gotcha. And also Bass Pro Shop.
handles a lot of birding supplies too. That's good. And there's a stores called Wild Birds Unlimited that do that. So there's lots of really good stores out there. Any store from Target all the way through sells this stuff. So just go to your local department store and see what you can find.
Oh yeah.
All right. Now let me ask you a question here. There's a couple of bird guides here, and I know you use one called Peterson's. You like the Peterson's guide series. Well, these are also 2 or 3 different birds books that we found here recently. What's that one right there?
This is the Stokes Field Guide. The Stokes Field Guide works really well, and generally what they're going to do is your guides are going to walk you through the different markings and the different times of year that you can see these birds. Some birds are year-round. Some things, like the most common example would be waterfowl. So a lot of your ducks are going to kind of disappear on us in around March.
Okay. Okay, that's really cool. Well, how about this one right here? What's good about a regional guide?
A regional guide, the people who put the regional guides together, that's when you get more of your behavior explanations, a little bit more detail. So for instance, in Horry County, we have in the neighborhood of about 160 birds that you can see within the county. And so they'll spend a little bit more time talking about the behavior, the patterns. They'll go through more calls, maybe putting even more pictures and show you the different plumages or how just the slight variations of birds in the area. And for instance, if you bump it up to the next level, you're looking at closer to 200, just over 200 for the whole state that could potentially visit. And then for the whole nation, it could be over 1,000. So each group they're able to, once you get a regional guide, it's really able to focus in on the local species.
That's cool. That's cool. All right, last but not least, what's good about a golden guidebook? Are you familiar with those and how children use those?
So I'm quite unfamiliar with the golden guidebooks. I've actually not used this before. But
the advantage of golden guides is there's a whole series and they're very kid friendly. So when you use a golden guide, if you've got a younger student and they want to really pick something up quickly, golden guides come with 2 series. They come with more of an adult series like this, and they come with a really young series. It's a really small book, and it's very easily picked up by, say, like a kindergarten through 4th grade. They can pick out a bird pretty quickly with a golden guide. Where they might have a little more difficulty with a bigger book like this, like an adult, they can use a book like that very well. So that's the advantage of golden guides.
Okay.
That's cool.
Awesome. Well, also, I'll point out some of the gear that while we're going over some things to kind of help people, I guess, recognize what to buy and what to look for when they first get started.
Okay.
In addition to the guides that me and Ben have discussed, I use a pair of 10 by 50 binoculars. Now, the 10 by 50s, they're heavy, and if you're ever doing an extended hike, maybe something over 3 miles, 4 miles, these few pounds really start to make a difference if you're wearing a neck strap. So this hunter's strap or an X strap, you can pick it up at a hunting store like Bass Pro or a firearm store. They'll have these binoculars, the binocular straps, and it makes it comfortable. I can go all day and it's extremely comfortable because the weight is distributed better.
Instead of being on your neck like this strap is right here, it's distributed on your shoulders. That's really cool. Well, those are Redfields, and we're using Leupold's here, but there are lots of different good manufacturers out there of binoculars. That's also 10 by 50s. That's what we use. What would be your advice to younger viewers out there that have smaller hands? What would you recommend them get?
I would say in the range of an 8 to 40. That just because they usually make those a little bit more compact.
8 by 40. Okay.
Yeah.
What does 8 by 40 mean? Explain that.
8 by 40. So you have magnification and you have field of view.
Okay.
Okay. And so the 10 or the 8 would represent the field of view, and the by 50 would represent the amount of magnification that would go into.
Gotcha.
So 10 by 50, it just gives you a little bit, better view. It's kind of like a movie screen, is to watching your TV at home. Yeah, it's good, but you go to the movies and you can get, you just get a little bit more detail, and it's a little bit more fun. But you don't want something so heavy that you don't use it. It's just almost like having a telescope that's too big. If you have a 10-inch, 12-inch telescope, you might use it a lot less than something really, really light like a 6-inch telescope. Same thing applies with binoculars.
Right. That's really cool. Well, they're really nice to have, and they're really neat. This is what we call a roof prism design. It's a straight cylindrical barrel. What you have there is what's called a poro prism. It's the old style where they kind of offset. You can see the 2 differences right there in the 2 different models. Same magnification, same basic specs, except for you have a 50 millimeter objective. This is 40 millimeter. That's going to let in more light than these are. So you're going to see it at lower light levels here, dawn and dusk, than you are these binoculars in particular. They're both tough and they're real good, and they've got turn-up eye cups for people that don't have glasses. Folks like us with spectacles, we turn them down so we can have a better field of view here that we can see through. So eye relief, what is eye relief and how does it relate to binoculars? And how do people with eyeglasses respond to eye relief? What does that mean?
So eye relief and the stigmas that people have in their eye, they can be solved by
Stigmatism.
the stigmatism. Thank you. The stigmatism that people have in their eye. Well, on the bottom we have something called a diopter, and the diopter is going to have, if you have a stronger or weaker eye, that's going to allow you to adjust the magnification on that side so you're seeing an even picture.
Okay.
Also, you may have to adjust as far as holding the binoculars closer or further away from your face, in addition to using removable eyepieces down here that will help you kind of lock in a set position.
That's really cool. So binoculars are really a key to birding, and birdhouses, good bird food, going out and exploring. That's basically all about birding 101. Birding is an awesome thing. Now, if anybody can do it at any age level, you can be 3 years old all the way to 300 years old, and you can bird. You can bird in a nursing home. You could sit there and have a bird feeder outside your window there, all the way to the day you expire, and you could actually be the best birder on your hall in the nursing home. So anybody can do it. Long past the time you've been doing sports and your body gets worn out, you can bird. And so it's a lifelong hobby, and it's a wonderful thing. It's a great thing to get into with kids. Why do you think birding would be good for children? What do you think it teaches them?
Conservation is all about giving children and people, because there's five times many adults as there is children. So we want them to have an experience as well, and these experiences will allow adults to appreciate nature, and in turn give them something to, give them and their kids something to do that's challenging but very fun. When you go to a state park, you hike on the trails, you might see a bug here, you might see a snake, but you'll always see birds. Right. And so if you can get children thinking about shapes, colors, significant features, that helps them look at things as they progress through life. It actually addresses some of the things that you see in their school curriculums, especially at the younger ages when they're just, more of the basic moving parts of what you have.
So they're just building an initial schema of what you see. Like the color and shape game, it's a whole lot easier when you can add in real world birds, and that makes it even more fun. And you can do the I Spy game. There's a lot of ways you can teach with kids and birds that really get them into it. Now, what is a challenge with working with a young person with birding? What's the biggest challenge you see?
So the biggest challenge with working with students or young children in birding is going to be the size of the bird. Okay. Now, what I would suggest is get them out into maybe a wetland type habitat. That's when you're dealing with your ducks, your geese, and your herrings. They're a lot bigger. They're a lot easier to recognize. And then as they get a little bit older, then you can start to scale back, and then you can go into your mockingbirds and get a little bit smaller and into your warblers, which is really fun. Right. And then you can get smaller and smaller. So that's what I would suggest. Get them. They'll get hooked. If you take them to wetlands and they can recognize this bird or that bird, it might be a little challenging for them to start on some of the smaller birds.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, thank you very much for all your information, William. We're going to enjoy birding, and you're going to get to see little overviews of all these little birds that we show on TV. And we've actually gone in the wild, and we have found where their natural habitats are going to be, where they're feeding. And I hope the audience enjoys it. Well, hope you enjoy backyard birding. And for Forever Wild, this is William Justin Johnson, and I'm Ben Abercrombie. Glad to see you. Stay forever wild.
Hello everybody, and we've got a nice special guest here today on our birding program, our backyard birding program. Her name is Caitlin Mariner, and she is a Coastal Carolina student. And what are you taking at Coastal?
Majoring in biology.
Majoring in biology, good deal. Well, what is going to be your specialty? What are you doing out here for your project at Playcard? You're doing an internship with us. What's your major project here?
Birding.
Birding, cool. Well, what are a few things that you've learned about birding you'd like to share to the audience?
How to identify birds by their shape and size. How to listen for their calls to identify them. Their different colors and markings.
Nice. Have you learned a lot of identifications of different birds? Have you learned a lot of birds in your backyard so far?
Yes, I have.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Have you enjoyed your internship so far?
Oh, yes.
Good deal. Well, what is fun about learning about playing Playcard versus learning, say, in a classroom? What's different about it?
Gets me outside. A lot more fun.
Yeah,
Learning hands-on.
definitely. And do you learn at a faster rate when you're learning hands-on?
Oh, yes.
Definitely, definitely. Well, what year is it for you at Coastal?
I'm a junior.
Okay, so you've got another year.
Yep.
That's great. You think you're going to follow on with your dreams with being some type of outdoor person when you grow up? I mean, was there any career fields that you're really interested in right now? What do you want to be?
I think I want to be a park ranger.
Mm-hmm.
So
Cool.
hopefully be outside all the time.
Good deal. Good deal. Good deal. Well, I tell you what, we really appreciate having you out. And Caitlin's going to be stepping in here and giving some voice feeds for some of these birds, and she's going to actually identify them for the audience too. And she's doing a wonderful job. I mean, all the coastal students do great out here. We have a big Coastal Carolina University presence at Playcard. We've been doing it for years, and she is one of a great many of interns that we've had over the years that really added to the program. And we really appreciate your service.
It's been a lot of fun.
Absolutely. All right, let's go find some birds.
Okay.
All right. He's boofed out like a little butterball in the cold. See that little bit of ruffled up brown on his front. I see the banner, sir. Red-shouldered hawk. Common circling behavior. Beautiful yellow rock warbler. Looks like we have a dark-eyed junco. Tell by the dark head, thick grayish pinkish bill, gray body. Real pretty bird. See a little bit of a white ring around his eye? He's kind of poofed out, really big right now. We have an eastern bluebird. You can tell. Okay, Caitlin, we've got some holes here on a pine tree. They look like they're in a lateral shape, kind of a lateral line of holes, and there's several holes up and down this tree. What woodpecker makes those holes?
That would be the yellow-bellied sapsucker.
Okay, why do they call them a yellow-bellied sapsucker? What do they do with each one of those holes?
They're sucking the sap out of the trees.
Cool. So is it deep enough to go way deep into the bark, or is it just under the first layer?
Just under the first layer.
Okay. And does the female attract insects to the sap also?
Yes.
What you're looking at there now is a red-faced turkey vulture. It's got white secondary feathers all the way across the wings, the back of the wings. It kind of tips at flight. The wings are slightly in a V shape. If the camera can hear it, you can hear that chip call. That's a normal defensive call you hear from a lot of birds, and they're letting other birds know that we're here. There are all kinds of ducks at Playcard Swamp, and they are protected out here, so this is a preserve. It's a beautiful place for them. What you're seeing right now is a ring-billed duck. Those are females. Beautiful. You can see the females have brown all over them, and the males have got that black and gray. Real pretty. Ring bills. They're going to do a flyby. How pretty.
still going to town right in front of you, right behind the maple line here. See, he's coming out to see us. He's gonna do the same See that yellow front? How pretty it's got bright yellow head. White That's Eastern pine warbler. Well, thank you everybody for watching this little edition on YouTube about Playcard Environmental Education Center with our backyard bird program. We're out here with a young lady from Coastal Carolina University, and she has been studying some different programs that are interesting that might be of interest to you out there in the audience.
My name's Lena Nelson. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm a senior at Coastal, and I'm studying technically interdisciplinary studies, but I'm focusing on environmental science.
Okay, Lena, what have you been doing at Playcard?
I've been doing all kinds of things. I'm learning about survival skills as well as edible plants. I kind of learn about birding here and there as well, and I've been learning about the ecosystem around here.
Fantastic. Well, this has been a great series. We're glad that you came out and enjoyed backyard birding with us. And on behalf of Horry County Schools, the Horry County Conservation Foundation, and the Coastal Carolina University, we've had a really good opportunity to get together with the community and teach you about backyard birding. We'd like to thank you for all your support. Please look for us online and check out our special events. Stay forever wild.